Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the kitchen. It has been a minute. Yeah, it's just been a minute. So anyways, I have a bunch of things to get done today, but before I start them, I need to get dinner in the oven because I've got a lot of things to get done. And I thought I would bring you along because this is one of my favorite casseroles for fall time. And it's super easy. It's one that you can just put in the oven and kind of forget about it for a while, and it is delicious. It's also one that you probably have almost all the ingredients in your house, probably almost all the time. It's one from my childhood. My grandma used to make it all the time, and I can remember when she would make it and I would start smelling it as it was cooking, and I would think, oh my gosh, this is so good. So let's get started and let me tell you what you need and how to do it. So this recipe is called Peekie Stew. I have always done it with beef. I think you could probably do it with other meat like chicken, but I've always done it with beef. It is the most easy recipe you'll ever use. So you can do it one of two ways. I normally do it in my Dutch oven. But you can also do this in your crock pot. If you do it in the Dutch oven, you will put it in your Dutch oven at 275 for 3 hours. So I only do it in the Dutch oven if I'm going to be home all day. That way I can babysit the oven or use time bake. Otherwise, if I'm not going to use time bake or something like that, I can put it in my crock pot and leave it all day on low. It's a Saturday though today, so instead I'm going to put it in the Dutch oven for 3 hours, 275. So let me show you what we've got going on here. I'm just going to use my small Dutch oven. If you're not familiar with what a Dutch oven is, it's usually a pot that is a really heavy bottom, so it will heat evenly and hold the heat in, and it then really just gives that really nice even cooking to it. So this is one of my smaller ones. You've seen me use before. It's about a 3.5 quart one. So this is the one I'm going to use today. When all my kids and family are home, I definitely use bigger ones. But today this is the one we're going to use. All right, let me show you what we're going to be doing here. So recipe is super simple. We're going to use a package of Lipton onion soup or any onion soup. Oftentimes I have this made on hand, but to save myself some extra steps, I'm just going to use one of the box mixes. Cream of chicken soup. You can make your own or you can use the canned. You can also use cream of mushroom. 1 pound of stew meat. If you want to make this meal stretch further, you can add extra meat to it. You can add other things to it, but the key to stretching it is just to add a little bit. And the other thing, some egg noodles or any noodle of your choice. I was raised with egg noodles. But to make the meal stretch, you can add extra noodles to it or extra meat to it or a little bit of both, and this will definitely stretch a lot further. Also, it reheats really well the next day, so if you're looking to have it for lunch or for dinner the following day with maybe a side salad or some other vegetables, it reheats really well. So let me show you what we're going to do. So first thing that I'm going to do is I am just going to give my pot a good spray because it is going to be in the oven for a little bit of time and I don't want it to burn or stick or make it more difficult to clean. Next thing I'm going to do is just simply add the soup mix. Next goes in now, when my grandma used to do this, she always used water. I have heard that you can use milk, but My grandma always just used water, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do with this is next I'm gonna just get 1 can of water. Grab it from my Berkey over here. Like I said, if you want something a little bit more rich, you could use milk, but I've always used water. I'm gonna scrape out the soup a little bit more. Just gonna stir this up a little bit to combine it. I can tell you that initially, until you cook it and then get the noodles in it, it doesn't look great. It kind of looks like something that you look at and you think, huh, not 100% sure about this one. But once you put the noodles in, it is definitely a crowd pleaser. All right, the last thing that we're gonna do here is put in my stew meat. I have that already thawed out over here. You just open a package over the sink. This is some of the butcher box meat that I get. So this is a pound of just regular stew meat. I had this sitting out to thaw in the refrigerator for a couple days. Once the meat is in here, all I'm going to do is put the lid on this and put it in the oven for 3 hours at 275. Now, the name is no Peekie Stew, which means that you need to let the stew actually cook for 3 hours and not open the lid. There's some type of magic that happens, and you're not supposed to open the lid until it is completely done. So this is what it looks like when it goes in. Like I said, it does not look appetizing, but trust me, it's really, really good. Once this is done, you're going to add some egg noodles into it. How many you put into it is strictly your choice. You can either cook the noodles ahead of time and then add them into it. If you're doing it in the crock pot, you can throw them in ahead of time and let them cook in there. Normally, I have some already cooked up and then I just dunk them in. But that is it. So 3 hours, 275, add the egg noodles. This was 3 ingredients in the pot: the soup, or the dry soup mix, the can of cream of chicken soup, and a pound of stew mix. And then at the end, we're going to add the egg noodles and serve it up. I usually serve this with some type of a salad. And that is it, my friends. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you.